And a very pleasant good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Boshemer Gymnasium on the campus of Brevard College for this edition of Brevard College Volleyball. Glad you're able to join us. It's the home opener for the Brevard College volleyball team. Much anticipation to see the Tornadoes in action on their home court. They've already played 5 matches this season, 2-3 on this young campaign. Taking on a tough opponent, the Bob Jones Bruins, who come into this one 7-1. 6 of those 7 matches in straight sets, the straight set wins for the Bruins. So this will be a tough opponent for the Tornadoes. Tornadoes most recently coming off a win over Warren Wilson. That was 1 week ago, a 3-1 victory by the Tornadoes. And the Tornadoes looking to continue their winning ways with this non-conference matchup today versus Bob Jones. Looking back on that victory over Warren Wilson, 3-1 over the Owls. Caitlin Presley led all Tornadoes with 10 kills, also dished out 8 assists. She's an interesting player where she both is an attacker and also a setter at times. A very unique threat, Caitlin Presley. Ashley Hoxett and McKenna Parkins also had a big match with 8 kills apiece. Parkins also had 9 digs. Logan Pretty doing the distribution with the assist. The setter with 21 assists in that one. And then Bailey Lance led the defense with 13 digs. Lance was also very effective with the serve. 5 service aces. Tornadoes and Bruins will have it for you shortly. We're about 17 minutes and 45 seconds away from the start of this one. Stick with us. Glad you're able to join us at the Boshemer Gymnasium on the campus of Brevard College.
It's important to study English because language has power. And being able to understand the history of language and how it's been used over time and in our current era helps us be able to take control of that power and use it now and in the future.
I've learned to express myself with the written word more clearly. I've been given the tools with different structural techniques and all the good stuff that have made me a stronger writer, a stronger communicator.
You're going to learn not just the content of your major, whether it's English or history or whatever. You're going to learn how to learn. You're going to learn how to apply that learning and adapt as conditions change.
Writing is inherently experiential because students have to take so many important skills like critical thinking, communication, analysis, and translate those thoughts into a piece of oral or written communication, and then learn by doing how to be more effective communicators.
The English program at Brevard College prepares you for success in whatever field you choose to major in, whether it's theater, whether it's in the sciences or math, whether it's in business. The ability to communicate is important in no matter where you go, and one of the skills we teach is how to communicate clearly with your audience, whoever that may be.
The community here at Brevard, whether it be faculty, students, staff, are all people who learn and grow together. We learn from each other. There's no place where I don't feel welcome on campus, and that's the best part of that liberal arts education, is you're stepping into different learning styles and different content than you do at any old college where you don't get to grow the brain. It's a culture that encourages self-expression. You're allowed to be you here.
history Promotes good sportsmanship by student athletes, coaches, and spectators. We request your cooperation by supporting the participants and officials in a positive manner. Profanity, racial or ethnic comments, or other intimidating actions directed at officials, student athletes, coaches, or team representatives will not be tolerated and are grounds for removal from the site of competition. Further, the possession or consumption of alcoholic beverages or tobacco products is prohibited. Thank you. to the Boshamer Gymnasium for this edition of Brevard College Volleyball. Tonight's matchup matches the Bob Jones University Bruins versus your Brevard College Tornadoes. Let's meet the starting lineups for both teams. First for the Bruins, number 3, Victoria Glaze. Number 5, Kirsten Hoops. Number 8, the libero, Caitlin Landcroft. Number 9, Timber Cruz. Number 10, Catherine Hoops. Number 14, Faith Blaylock. Number 16, Emily Lewis. Head coach of the Bruins is Dr. Vicki Denny, assisted by Lou Denny, Krista Schlichting, and Daniel Heffernan. And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's meet the starting lineups for your Brevard College Tornadoes. Number 6, McKenna Parkins. Number 11, the libero, Bailey Lance. Number 12, Ashley Hodson. Number 16, Logan Pretty. Number 18, Caitlin Presley. Number 20, Kendall Rockstad. And number 25, Jackson Tamicki. Head coach of the Tornadoes is Abby Hardy, assisted by Brittany Prince. The athletic trainer is Noah Rising. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please rise and remove your hats for the playing of our national anthem. Thank you and good luck to both teams. Tornadoes and Bruins coming up next.
Glad you're able to join us this evening at the Boshamer Gymnasium as the Tornadoes and Bruins square off. A lot of anticipation surrounding this matchup. The home opener for the Brevard College Tornadoes 2023 edition. Starting lineup for the Tornadoes: McKenna Parkins, Ashley Hoxett, Logan Pretty, Caitlin Presley, Kendall Rockstad, and Jackson Tamicki. The libero is Bailey Lance. The Bruins go with the following: Victoria Glaze, Kirsten Hoops, Timber Cruz, Catherine Hoops, Faith Blaylock, Emily Lewis, and the libero is Caitlin Landcrone. So a lot of anticipation around this one. Not only the start of the home season for the Tornadoes, but also the debut of the new court, the newly redesigned court here at the Boshamer Gymnasium. Some new artwork, kind of a retro look, matching the history of the Boshamer Gymnasium here. And I know these student athletes are really excited to play their first actual matchup here. Tornadoes in the white uniforms with the blue numerals, black shorts. Bruins in the navy blue with the black shorts. First serve of the match comes from the Bruins. Dug up there by Lance. Here's Pretty setting up Presley. Dug up once again by Lance. Parkin sends it over and goes long there. Point Bruins. So second service of the match, and that'll go to the Bruins as well. Point Bruins. So an early 2-0 lead for Bob Jones. Kirsten Hoops winning those first 2 points as the server for the Bruins to start things off. And here's Hoops setting up her teammate Timber Cruz. Here's Presley. And that's a winner from Presley. Point Tornadoes. And first point of the home season for the Tornadoes. A kill by Presley. And the first service on the new court for the Tornadoes. That's Ashley Hoxett. Here comes the Bruins, and that's a finish from Emily Lewis. Point Bruins. Point Tornadoes. So originally it looked like a Bruins point, but overturned, and it's a Tornado point. 3-1 your score. So 3-3 your score. And service there, and another point for the Tornadoes. That's going to be an ace from Hoxett. Point Tornadoes. So a little bit of confusion with the scoreboard. See if we can get the score right here. Showing 4-3. Tornadoes on top. So the stadium scoreboard had it 3-3 for a moment there, but now we're all on the same page. Meanwhile, block there. Presley and Tamicki were both there for the Tornadoes. Now here's Presley after being set up by Pretty. Dug up there by Hoxett. Pretty. Tamicki. And that's going to go out of bounds. Point Bruins. Score the point for the Bob Jones Bruins. 4-3 the score. So now 5-3 Tornadoes on top. Point Tornadoes. And service here from Kaylin Murphy, the senior from Indian Trail, North Carolina. Making sure the rotation's correct at the scorer's table as well. Currently on the court for the Tornadoes, Murphy, Hoxett, Pretty, Presley, Parkins, and Rockstad. The serve from Murphy. Jump serve from Murphy, and it's an ace. Point Tornadoes. And Tornadoes, a 6-3 lead. The home team on top. Another serve from Murphy, sending the Bruin back on that back line. Then dug up by Murphy nicely. Parkins with an attack. Here come the Bruins the other way. That was Faith Blaylock with the attack there for the Bruins. That attack's out of bounds for the Tornadoes. Point will go to the Bruins. Point Bruins. So 6-4 your score. Set number 1. Evenly played match so far. And service here is going to be by the libero of Bob Jones, Caitlin Landcrone. Landcrone, senior out of Crown Point, Indiana. Some more discussion at the scores table. I want to make sure we've got all the rotations correct. Good to see some students starting to file in here to the new look Bosch. Create a little bit of an atmosphere for these student athletes. Now here's Hoxett. And the point's going to go to the Bruins. Point Bruins. So violation up there at the net by the Tornadoes, and it'll result in a Bruin point. 6-5 your score. Parkins with the dig. Pretty now sets up Presley. Presley with a big hit in the finish. The kill by Caitlin Presley, ladies and gentlemen. Big time hit there. Point Tornadoes. So Presley with the finish. And Presley will be rewarded with a service opportunity here. Caitlin Presley, dynamic performer, senior from right here in Brevard, North Carolina, Brevard High School. And the serve from Presley. Kirsten Hoops setting up her teammate in the finish there by Glaze. Glaze also Hoops, Catherine Hoops in on the action. And here's Victoria Glaze. Check that. Eden Swihart with the service. Point Bruins. So Swihart, junior out of Goshen, Indiana. Dug up there by Lance. Bruins able to keep it alive. Now on the attack, that's Catherine Hoops. And a nifty move there. Caitlin Presley. Very deceptive. Point Tornadoes. So Presley, we talked about her, setter and also attacker, and how she can make things like that happen. It's tough for a defense to size her up. Meanwhile, new player into the contest for the Tornadoes, it's Caitlin Haggerty with the serve. Attack there, dug up nicely by Lance. Here's Hoxett. Hoxett with a big hit. Bruins with an opportunity here. Hit there by Glaze, dug up by Presley. Hoxett sends it over. Caitlin Haggerty did everything in her power to try to keep that alive, but the point's going to go to the Bruins. Point Bruins. Nicely done there, Catherine Hoops, and Hoops will have the service now. Lance with the dig. Here's Hoxett, big hit. And the finish by the Bruins. Point Bruins. And we're all tied up at 8. 8 apiece through the first 16 points of this contest. Lance able to dig that, going down low. Meanwhile, Hoxett tries to send it over with a bump to no avail. Point Bruins. So the Bruins on a little bit of a scoring run now, ahead 9-8. Haggerty, Presley. Into the contest now for the Tornadoes is Ashley Ballman. Big hit there, dug up there by Lance off the ceiling. And that point will go to the Bruins. Point Bruins. So 10-8, so a run here for the Bruins. But it's ending right there, folks, as Kendall Rockstadt with a big finish. Point Tornadoes. After a significant scoring run by the Bruins. Big finish there.
Point, Tornadoes.
Bailey Lance will serve once again after another point for the NATOs. Now 10-10. But the Bruins answer back.
Point, Bruins.
Here's Victoria Glaze with the service. She's out of Twin Falls, Idaho. Haggerty. Here's Hoxett. Nice job by the blockers of the Bruins. Now an opportunity for the Bruins offensively, and a big-time block there by Bauman. Presley. Bauman with the finish.
Point, Tornadoes.
So, well-earned point there for the Tornadoes. 11-11 your score. And service opportunity here for the Tornadoes. It'll be Logan Pretty, the setter, out of Greensboro, North Carolina. And just a little too long, so a service error there.
Point, Bruins.
Student body continuing to make their way into the Boshamer Gymnasium. This building can get very loud once the students get cheering. Can certainly create a home court advantage for the NATOs. Meanwhile, service here is going to be coming momentarily from Kirsten Hoops, sophomore setter from Little Rock, Arkansas. Haggerty, Pretty, setting up to Mickey. Bruins coming back the other way. And nice job defensively by the Tornadoes at the net.
Point, Tornadoes.
And the service will be in the hands of Ashley Hoxett, junior from nearby Balsam Grove, North Carolina. So many returners for this volleyball squad. Very strong junior and senior class, and Hoxett, one of those juniors on the squad under the direction of head coach Abby Pardee. Here's Presley. Here come the Bruins. Landcrone sets up her teammate, and it's off a Tornado. The point goes to the Bruins. Nice hit there from Faith Blaylock.
Point, Bruins.
So a big-time finish there from Blaylock, junior from Winston-Salem, North Carolina. And Timber Cruz will handle the service. A jump serve from Cruz. Parkins sends it over. Bruins coming back the other way. And Presley and Tamicki did their best to block that attack, but the point's going to go to the Bruins.
Point, Bruins.
Bruins 14, Tornadoes 12, set number 1. Service error there, go back to the Tornadoes.
Point, Tornadoes.
So checking back in is Murphy, who will handle the service. Murphy had an ace earlier, one of the top performers for the Tornadoes year in and year out from that service position. That point's going to go to the Bruins off a Tornado hand.
Point, Bruins.
And serving for the Bruins will be their libero, Caitlin Landcrone. Rockstad, Pretty, Presley in the front row for the Tornadoes. Parkins, Hoxett, and Lance in that back row for BC. Parkins, Pretty setting up Presley. Nice dig there, one-handed by Cruz. That point's going to go to the Nados.
Point, Tornadoes.
So 15-14. And Caitlin Presley will handle the service. Senior from right here in Brevard, North Carolina, Brevard High School. An outstanding student athlete. One of those rare performers listed as both a right side hitter and a setter. Bauman, Presley. Here's Parkins. Big hit there from McKenna Parkins, ladies and gentlemen. Just what the doctor ordered.
Point, Tornadoes.
And with that, a 15-15 score, all tied up once again. We've had several tied scores in this first set. Bauman did everything she could to block that one, but the point's going to go to the Bruins. Bruins take the lead once again.
Point, Bruins.
Very competitive first set here for the Tornadoes on their home court. Swihart with the serve. Presley was trying to set up Rockstadt. Bruins are going to take a 2-point lead.
Point, Bruins.
Dug up there by Lance. Here's Bauman. Big hit there. Dug up once again from Lance. Going up high for the block there was Rockstad. And then that's going to go off a Tornado, it looks like. Trying to get a ruling here. Yes, indeed, a Bruins point.
Point, Bruins.
So the Bruins have stretched their lead to 3 points. Neither team has gotten much separation in this contest. But you feel like it's a tenuous moment here. Now a 4-point lead in a timeout on the court.
Timeout, Brevard.
So a timeout with the Bruins taking a 19-15 lead here in the first period. Hang with us. Bob Jones and Brevard Volleyball.
Every cheer, for every play, we know there's a little prayer that no one gets hurt. That's why we are there too. Party athletic trainers, physicians, and specialists. We're watching closely for any sign that someone needs care. And if your child is hurt, they're seen right away by the region's top specialists. The Party Sports Medicine team is at every game, match, race, practice, and workout, providing medical attention and guidance. For us, winning is all about playing healthy and smart so you can perform at your best.
Back here at the Boshamer Gymnasium, Tornadoes and Bob Jones in the home opener for the Nados. Bob Jones 7-1 this season, a formidable opponent for the home opener here. Tornadoes have to dig out of a bit of a hole, but coming off the timeout, that's just what the doctor ordered. Bauman with the finish.
Point, Tornadoes.
Big hit there from Ashlyn Bauman, junior from Lakeland, Florida. And service here for Caitlin Haggerty. She's part of that senior class. She's out of Raleigh, North Carolina. Rollsville High School. Bruins answer right back.
Point, Bruins.
So Bruins first team to hit the 20-point threshold. Service there. And the Tornadoes able to set up Hoxett. Bruins somehow able to keep it alive. Haggerty from the back row. Here's Bauman. Bruins there defensively with the block. Big time work there. Kirsten Hoops, also Victoria Glaze on the defensive end. Point Bruins. So 21-16. So Bruins now with a 5-point lead. Every point critical from the Tornadoes' perspective now, down by 5. Bruins 4 points away from a set 1 victory. Make it 3 points away. Point Bruins. And another timeout on the court. That's Brevard. Timeout on the court, Brevard. So another timeout on the court. We'll stick with it right here. And great to see this edition of the 2023 Brevard College Tornadoes. Start of what's going to be a great home slate for Brevard. If you're able to come out this weekend, 10 a.m., the Tornadoes will take on Mary Baldwin. It's part of a USA South Conference tri-match. So at noon, there'll be a neutral site game here, Mary Baldwin versus Methodist. And then at 2 p.m., Methodist will take on Brevard. So a chance to see the Tornadoes twice. You can also check out a third match in between, and hope you can make it out here. It's a busy day of athletics on Saturday. Not only the volleyball tri-match, women's soccer will be playing at noon at Islamel Family Field. So if you wanted to check that out, during the third match of that tri-match, you could. Also, Brevard College football back in action at 6 p.m. in a game that's going to start with the sun still out, but end under the lights. So get ready for that at Islamel Family Field. 22-16. It's really crunch time for the Tornadoes, trailing by 6 here in this first set. And Bob Jones with the service. Big hit there by Hoxett. Bruins have no choice but just to send it back over. That means another opportunity for the Tornadoes. Here's Bauman. And credit the kill there to Timber Cruz. Point Bruins. And just like that, the Bruins are 2 points away from a set 1 victory. Here's Hoxett. Presley setting up Hoxett. Nice diving stop there by Swihart. A whistle. Okay, and we'll get some clarification here. May have been some moisture on this refurbished, brand new court here at the Boschmer Gymnasium. Certainly happens in the sport of volleyball when you have bodies, perspiration, hitting the floor here, dives, digs, bumps. So we'll play the point all over again. Tornadoes unable to complete that attack. It goes long. Point Bruins. Set point Bruins. So it's a set point opportunity for the Bruins ahead 24-16. And they've got a lot of room to get this one done ahead by 8. Finish there. Point Tornadoes. So another set point opportunity for the Bruins. However, the Tornadoes able to fend off one set point. Now trailing 24-17. It'll be Bailey Lance with the serve. Lance able to dig it up, and Tornadoes do everything in their power, but that's going to be a 25-17 set 1 win for the Bruins. And the Bruins take set number 1, 25-17. Set number 2 coming up next. So stick with us. We'll bring you second set action in just a moment. Tornadoes and the Bruins. Bruins win set number 1 by the score of 25-17. Back here at the Boschmer Gymnasium, home opener for the Brevard College Tornadoes. Glad you're able to join us wherever you may be tuning in from. First set goes to Bob Jones, 25-17. This was a very close set early on, several tied scores. It was tied at 11-11 at one point, tied again at 15-15. But from there, it was all Bob Jones, a 10-2 run over those final 12 points, and then ultimately able to finish it off with that winner, a kill from Victoria Glaze from Kirsten Hoops. Finishes off Brevard in that first set, so the Tornadoes will regroup and get back after it here in set number 2. Some statistical leaders for you. For Bob Jones, Victoria Glaze, who had that set winner, she leads all players with 5 kills. There's also 2 kills apiece for Timber Cruz, Catherine Hoops, and Emily Lewis. Kirsten Hoops leads all players with 10 assists. There was 1 service ace. That was by Cruz of Bob Jones. Now the Tornadoes really spread around their attack. 6 different players with a kill. 3 kills by Presley, 2 by Bauman, 2 by Parkins, but also Hoxett, Rockstad, and Tamicki each with kills apiece as well. Caitlin Presley with 5 assists to lead in the distribution department. There were 2 service aces, one from Kaylin Murphy, the other from Ashley Hoxett. Credit a block as well to Caitlin Presley. And in the dig department, Bailey Lance with 9 for the Tornadoes. Timber Cruz with 6 for Bob Jones. Those are your leaders in the statistical categories. So time for set number 2. Time for the Tornadoes to regroup and see if they can wrestle back a set here and even things up. But a lot of momentum for Bob Jones at the end of that first set. Again, 10 of the last 12 points went to the Bruins. Bruins, by the way, made the trip up from Greenville, South Carolina, about an hour and a half away. Regular opponent for the Tornadoes across all sorts of sports, non-conference, of course. Meanwhile, here comes the first point of the second set, and it's going to go to the Bruins. Point, Bruins. So opening point goes to the Bruins. Here's Timber Cruz. She had an ace in that first set, and she gets an ace there. Point, Bruins. Pretty. Setting up Presley. Big hit there from Presley, but it's long. Point, Bruins. So the Bruins picking off right where they left off. 3 straight points to lead the second set. Dating back to that first set, they've won 13 in the last 15 points played until that service error. So it'll go back to the Tornadoes here. Point, Tornadoes. Ashley Hoxett, who had a service ace in that first set. She fires away. Tamicki. Presley sends it over. And a kill there. A lot of excitement surrounding that kill by Emily Lewis. Point, Bruins. And the Bruins now with a 4-1 lead. It's going to be the libero, Caitlin Landcrone, with the serve. She'll do it with the jump serve variety. Tamicki digs it up. Now Presley with a big hit. Dug up there nicely by Parkins. Now Pretty setting up Presley again. Dug up there by Landcrone. And nice block there by Parkins. Point for the Tornadoes. Point, Tornadoes. So Kaylin Murphy checks back in. One of the top servers for the Tornadoes. Had an ace in that opening set. Also had a pair of digs. Finished there by the Bruins. Point, Bruins. So an early 5-2 lead for Bob Jones. As we're getting the substitutions straightened out here, and Bruins will send in, looks like Eden Swihart. Tornadoes under the direction of Abby Pardee in her second season, assisted by Brittany Franks. Brittany Franks, a tremendous student athlete in her day here. Dual sport athlete, played both volleyball and softball. Big hit there from Rockstad. Now a big hit from Parkins and the finish. McKenna Parkins coming to life here in the second set.
Point, Tornadoes.
So Caitlin Presley will handle the service. Rockstad, Parkins, Bauman, Lance, Hoxett, and Presley on the court for the Tornadoes in their home white jerseys. Worth mentioning, brand new uniforms for the Tornadoes. Real sharp look. That's an ace for Ashley Hoxett.
Point, Tornadoes.
So 5-4 your score. Bob Jones with the early lead here in the second set. So another point there on the Presley service.
Point, Tornadoes.
So Presley will go back to work and dug up there nicely the libero Landcrone. Landcrone again setting up hoops. Presley sets up Hoxett. Landcrone with another dig. Lance. Here's Parkins, the finish. McKenna Parkins. She's coming alive here in the second set.
Point, Tornadoes.
And a nice little scoring run for the Tornadoes, now ahead 6-5, so they've worked their way back into the lead here. Four consecutive points for the Nados until that. So Bob Jones able to stop the scoring run by the Brevard Tornadoes. Now 6-6 your score.
Point, Bruins.
Service here from Hoops. Parkins. Dug up somehow, some way by Bob Jones. Here's Presley. Lance setting up Parkins nicely. Hoxett able to keep it alive. One of the better rallies of this contest so far. Parkins. In the finish by Parkins. What a set she is having. Several kills.
Point, Tornadoes.
You could feel the excitement on the Tornado bench. Also the spectators here at Brevard College. Now there are quite a few fans here from Bob Jones, it seems like, as well. Not a far trip for them from Greenville. Meanwhile, here's Caitlin Haggerty. She sends Bob Jones all the way back on that back line. That was Swihart. Rockstad and Bauman going up high for the block. That's going to go to Bob Jones.
Point, Bruins.
So credit the point to Bob Jones. Victoria Glaze will handle the service. Bauman. Hoxett. Big hit there from Hoxett. 7-7 your score. We're all tied up here at the Bosch. Second set action. 1-0 in sets. Bob Jones on top. And that's going to go wide. Point toward the Tornadoes.
Point, Tornadoes.
So service opportunity here for Bailey Lance. Some substitutions for the Tornadoes. Lance, Haggerty, Presley, Tamicki, Hoxett, and Bauman currently on the floor for BC.
Point, Tornadoes.
So Tornadoes able to take a 2-point lead here, 9-7 after that service from Bailey Lance. 9-7 your score. Big serve there again from Lance, making things difficult on Bob Jones. Here's an opportunity for the Tornadoes. Presley setting up to Mickey. That was a big hit, but then a big dig the other way from Swihart. Credit the point to the Tornadoes.
Point, Tornadoes.
So the Tornadoes with their largest lead of the contest, now up 10-7 here in the second set. And the Bailey Lance service will continue. Just a bit long. That'll be a service error. Point will go to the Bruins.
Point, Bruins.
So Kirsten Hoops will handle the service. Meanwhile, some more perspiration on the floor. Gatorade towel on the scene. 10-8, Tornadoes on top, trailing 1-0. Second set action at the Bosch. Haggerty, Presley. It's going to be a net violation there on the Tornadoes. Point to Bob Jones.
Point, Bruins.
So service here for Glaze. Bauman. That's going to sail long. Another point for the Bruins.
Point, Bruins.
10-10, all tied up. We had several tied scores in the first set. And that service is going to go long. Point to the Tornadoes.
Point, Tornadoes.
Substitute, Bauman is congratulated by her teammates. And Logan Pretty steps in for the service. Attack there is going to sail long. That's going to be a point for the Tornadoes.
Point, Tornadoes.
So 12-10, Tornadoes on top here in the second set. Serve from Pretty. Attack there. What a dig by Bailey Lance, ladies and gentlemen. That was a thing of beauty. Meanwhile, that will go off a Bob Jones hand, and it'll be point for the Tornadoes.
Point, Tornadoes. Point, Tornadoes. Timeout on the court. Timeout, Bob Jones.
So Tornadoes getting a nice scoring run. Now their largest lead of the contest, up 14-10 in the second set. Timeout on the court. Bob Jones takes timeout. We'll take it with him.
Every cheer, for every play, we know there's a little prayer that no one gets hurt. That's why we are there too. Party athletic trainers, physicians, and specialists. We're watching closely for any sign that someone needs care. And if your child is hurt, they're seen right away by the region's top specialists. The Party Sports Medicine team is at every game, match, race, practice, and workout, providing medical attention and guidance. For us, winning is all about playing healthy and smart so you can perform at your best.
Back here at the Boschmer Gymnasium. Glad you're able to join us. The regular season home opener for the Tornadoes. Nice crowd on hand. Fans of all ages. Logan Pretty with the service. Tornadoes enjoying their largest lead of the contest, up 14-10 in the second set. Bruins, though, effective out of the timeout, winning that point back.
Point, Bruins.
So 14-11 now the score. A service here for Cruz, Timber Cruz. Pretty sets up Presley. Presley with a big hit. To Mickey going up high. Back-to-back digs there by Landcrone of the Bruins. And then the point will go to the Tornadoes ultimately.
Point, Tornadoes.
So 15-11. And Ashley Hoxett with the service. She's been having an outstanding match thus far. And an ace there for Hoxett.
Point, Tornadoes.
So Ashley Hoxett as Tornadoes able to go ahead 16-11 now. Hoxett, that's her second ace to go along with a kill and a couple digs.
Point, Tornadoes.
17-11, the Tornadoes with some real separation here. This match was tied 10-10.
Point, Bruins.
So it was tied 10-10, then the Tornadoes went on a 7-1 scoring blitz until Bob Jones just wrestled that point back. 17-12 your score. Pretty sets up to Mickey.
Point, Tornadoes.
Make it 18-12. So Tornadoes continuing this scoring run. And Kaylin Murphy check it in to serve. Always a factor when Murphy is at the service position.
Point, Bruins.
Presley and Mickey were both there attempting that block, but Bruins able to get through it. Meanwhile, a 5-point lead for Brevard, 18-13. Swihart with the service.
Point, Bruins.
(18-14). So Tornadoes need to be careful here that Bob Jones doesn't put together a scoring run of their own. Bob Jones with a 1-0 lead in sets. Here's Hoxett. Presley. Parkins. Opportunity for the Bruins. And that was an impressive finish there by Catherine Hoops.
Point, Bruins.
Hoops coming cross court with a lot of spin on that attack. But then what an answer by Presley. But the point's going to go to the Bruins. A net violation, apparently.
Point, Bruins.
The crowd here not too happy about that one, but 18-16 your score as scoring run continues here for Bob Jones. Tornadoes need to be careful. Every point matters. Meanwhile, Pretty, Parkins. Big hit there. And Lance did everything in her power. It ended up ricocheting off the ceiling.
Point, Bruins.
And the Bruins have come all the way back from down 18-12. They've scored 5 straight points. Now 18-17. But a service error there, so Tornadoes catching a break.
Point, Tornadoes.
19-17 your score. Presley will serve for the NATOs. Parkins, Rockstad, Bauman, Lance, and Hoxett on the floor for Brevard. Dug up there by Landcrone.
Point, Bruins.
19-18 your score. We've got a 1-point ball game here in the second set. Catherine Hoops will do the honors for the Bruins. Lance. Presley sets up Bauman. Hoops with the dig. Big hit there from Cruz. The Tornadoes able to answer.
Point, Tornadoes.
Then unlike the first set, the Tornadoes the first to 20 here in this second set. Ahead 20-18 as Caitlin Haggerty will handle the service. Dug up nicely by Presley. Lance. Here's Hoxett. Big hit there. Dug up by Landcrone. Who else? Extra hit there for the Bruins. The point will go to the NATOs.
Point, Tornadoes.
21-18. So just when it seemed like Bob Jones was closing the gap, Tornadoes with back-to-back points, now ahead by 3. Nice job there by Rockstad going up high for the block attempt. But then the finish by the Bruins.
Point, Bruins.
21-19 your score. Second set. Victoria Glaze with the service. Jump serve from Glaze. It's wide.
Point, Tornadoes.
So Bailey Lance, the libero for the NATOs, will handle the service. Haggerty, Presley, Hoxett, Tamicki, and Bauman on the court. And it's going to be a service error. Point will go back to the Bruins.
Point, Bruins.
Sub for the Bruins as Faith Blaylock checks back in. Meanwhile, the service from Hoops. Haggerty. Presley setting up Hoxett. Now an opportunity for Bob Jones. Hoxett once again. Hoxett with the kill and the finish.
Point, Tornadoes. Timeout on the court. Timeout, Bob Jones with your score. Brevard 23, Bob Jones 20. Second set.
So we'll take a timeout with it as Bob Jones able to try to use a timeout here to stop the bleeding. Now the Tornadoes 2 points away from a second set victory.
Every cheer, for every play, we know there's a little prayer that no one gets hurt. That's why we are there too. Party athletic trainers, physicians, and specialists. We're watching closely for any sign that someone needs care. And if your child is hurt, they're seen right away by the region's top specialists. The Party Sports Medicine team is at every game, match, race, practice, and workout, providing medical attention and guidance. For us, winning is all about playing healthy and smart so you can perform at your best.
Well played second set for the Brevard College Tornadoes. Now the key is finishing it off here, ahead 23-20. 2 points away from pay dirt and potentially evening this matchup at one set apiece. Substitute comes in. That's Logan Pretty. She'll handle the service. Bruins coming out of the timeout. They've been effective so far coming out of the timeout. Big point here. Brevard ahead 23-20. Haggerty with the dig. Here's Hoxett.
Point, Tornadoes. Set point, Tornadoes.
So a set point opportunity for the Tornadoes. Ahead 24-20. Big opportunity here. A 4-point cushion. Pretty with the serve. Point Tornadoes. And the Tornadoes win the second set 25-20. We're all tied up. One set apiece. Third set coming up next. So a big finish there by the Tornadoes to win that second set 25-20. After Bob Jones won the first set 25-17, Brevard answers back with the 25-20 win. That last point, by the way, officially credit the block to Caitlin Presley and Jackson Tamicki, both going up high for the block. Really nicely done. Lewis was attempting to kill, and Presley and Tamicki finish it off. The point before that was a big one as well when Logie Pretty set up Ashley Hoxick coming out of that timeout to put the Tornadoes in that set point opportunity. So really well done here in the second set, answering back. And we're all tied up, one set apiece heading to set number 3. Now, McKenna Parkins, after a big second set, now leads all the Tornadoes with 5 kills. 4 kills for Caitlin Presley, also 4 kills for Jackson Tamicki. Ashley Hoxick with 3 kills. Bauman has 2. Rockstad and Lance with 1 kill as well. In the assist department, Presley, the leading setter, with 9. Pretty has 6 assists. Bailey Lance has 2 as well. There's been 5 service aces by the Tornadoes, 2 from Hoxick, and then 1 apiece from Kaylin Murphy, Bailey Lance, and Caitlin Presley. In the dig department, Bailey Lance, the libero, leads the Tornadoes with 14. Caitlin Presley with 4. Let's take a look at Bob Jones and their lineup by the numbers. Glaze with 10 kills. A really big match so far for Victoria. Glaze, 5 kills for Hoops, 4 for Lewis. Hoops, meanwhile, Kirsten Hoops, that is, the setter, with 20 assists to lead all players. There's been just 1 ace officially for Bob Jones. That came from Cruz and the libero, Landcrone, who's had some really nice digs for Bob Jones with 13 to lead the Bruins. Also, Catherine Hoops with 9 digs herself. So it all adds up to a tie score after 2 sets. What more can you ask for if you're a fan of volleyball here for this matchup between Bob Jones and the Tornadoes? Somehow have to continue to keep Bob Jones at bay despite the 20 assists from Kirsten Hoops, who's been setting up her teammates nicely. But nice job by the Tornadoes that last set. Especially Parkins early in the set came alive quite a bit. Hoxick late, and then Presley doing her things, whether it's with the attack with 4 kills or the assist department with 9. But it's been a compelling matchup so far. Glad you're able to join us wherever you may be tuning in from. Bob Jones, by the way, entering this matchup, 7-1 record. So not a easy opponent necessarily. Bob Jones trying to give the Tornadoes Tornadoes trying to give Bob Jones defeat number 2. Tornadoes looking for their 3rd win of the season, entering this matchup with a 2-3 record, coming off that victory at Warren Wilson 1 week ago in Swannanoa, North Carolina. So time for the 3rd set, and NATO Nation would love nothing more to see the Tornadoes continue their winning ways here in set number 3. What a great second set by Abby Pardee's club. The 25-20 victory for the NATOs in that set. So making sure all the rotations are correct. So here we go, set number 3 getting underway. Big hit there, and McKenna Parkins did everything in her power to try to keep that alive, but the point will go to the Bruins. Point Bruins. So the first point of the third set goes to the Bruins, all tied up at 1 set apiece. Parkins, pretty. Here's Hoxett. Bailey Lance. Point Tornadoes. So Tornadoes able to even things up, 1 point apiece. Point Bruins. Bruins able to win that point there. We'll try to get you a women's soccer score by the end of today's broadcast as well. They're at Warren Wilson tonight. And that's a point for the Tornadoes. Nicely done there. Nice piece of offense. Point Tornadoes. Here come the Bruins on the move. Point Tornadoes. And under the service of Kaylin Murphy, another effective service opportunity there. And the Tornadoes now up 3-2 here in this third set. Murphy tries to dig that up to no avail. Point will go to the Bruins. Point Bruins. 3-3, all tied up. Update from women's soccer, Brevard 5, Warren Wilson 0 in the 69th minute. Swannanoa, North Carolina. So big day for the Tornadoes. Already a hat trick for Taylor Richardson. Grace Black with a goal as well. Same with Camden Pacheco. Meanwhile, here's the Tornadoes trying to set up their offensive attack. Presley with the hit there, and the finish. Caitlin Presley, ladies and gentlemen. Point Tornadoes. Point Bruins. All tied up 4 apiece. Somehow that was saved by Landcrone. She's had a knack for the seemingly impossible today, but point will ultimately go to the Tornadoes as that attack goes long. Point Tornadoes. At the service here will be Caitlin Haggerty. Haggerty sending the Bob Jones defenders back on their heels. Then a hit from Hoxett, but it's wide. Point will go to Bob Jones. Point Bruins. 5-5, all tied up. We've seen several tied scores in both the first and second set, now tied 5 apiece in the third. Jump serve there. Lance. Presley, a nifty move. That time the Bruins read it. Presley setting up Hoxett. Landcrone's been sensational. She was able to dig that up. But that point will go to the Nados as that attack goes wide. Point Tornadoes. Bailey Lance will do the honors. Wears the blue jersey, the libero. Bob Jones goes with the gray jersey for the libero. Point, Tornadoes. That Bob Jones attack goes long, so Brevard able to win another point. Now up 8-5, so 3 straight points for Brevard. Point, Bruins. Credit that point to the Bruins. Some more perspiration being attended to. Gatorade towel, one of the MVPs of this evening's matchup. Eden Swihart will handle the service. She's done some nice work defensively. 7 digs on the night. Point, Bruins. And she's able to earn a point there with her service. Point, Tornadoes. So, Tornadoes able to win back the service, win that last point. And Pretty will do the honors. Answering right back are the Bruins. That was Victoria Glaze. Point, Bruins. Service now from Timber Cruz. All tied up at 8. And credit the point to the Bruins. Point, Bruins. So 9-8 your score. Service here, dug up by Presley. And a finish there from Tamiki. Point, Tornadoes. Substitute coming in for the Nados. McKenna Parkins back in business. Here's Hoxett. Hoxett digs that up. Pretty keeps it alive. Here's Parkins. Sending Swihart all the way back. Here's Catherine Hoops. Dug up by Hoxett. Pretty sets up Presley. Presley then keeps it alive. Point's going to go to the Bruins, however. Violation on the Tornadoes. Point, Bruins. Bruins have worked their way all the way back into the lead here after Tornadoes had an 8-5 lead. Bruins now up 10-9. Tamiki. Point, Tornadoes. So Tornadoes able to win that point. 10-10 your score. Kaylin Murphy checks in for the service. And it'll be a service error. Point will go to the Bruins. Point, Bruins. (11-10) your score. Bruins on top. We're tied 1 set apiece here in the third set. Presley with a big hit. That'll go long. It'll be a point for the Tornadoes off the attack error. by Hoops.
Point, Tornadoes. Point, Tornadoes.
Big winner there for the Tornadoes. And the Presley service will continue. Now ahead 12-11. And an ace from Presley.
Point, Tornadoes.
Service ace number 6 for the Tornadoes, by the way. Meanwhile, that point's going to go to the Bruins.
Point, Bruins.
McKenna Parkins on the attack. The block by the Bruins to no avail.
Point, Tornadoes.
Parkins checks out. Caitlin Haggerty, one of those service specialists, checks in. Haggerty, the defensive specialist from Raleigh, North Carolina, with the serve with the right hand. 14-12, NATO's on top. Another win there for the NATOs.
Point, Tornadoes. Timeout on the court. Timeout, Bob Jones.
So timeout on the court. Your score, Brevard 15, Bob Jones 12 here in the third set. Back here at the Boschmer Gymnasium for start of really the second portion of set number 3. Kind of a mid-set timeout by Bob Jones. Maybe they're sensing kind of getting away from them a little bit. Bob Jones, head coach, Dr. Vicki Denny, assisted by Lou Denny. Always great to see Mitch Yoder on scene, handling a lot of the multimedia, digital media specialist here at Brevard College, and just does a wonderful job. A lot of those great videos that you see on social media for the Tornadoes. Having a little bit of confusion over what the score is at the moment. We're seeing one score on the scoreboard, another score on the statistics. 15-12 is what seems like we're all showing. And making sure we have clarity there, but by our count up here in the broadcast booth, 15-12 should be the score. So see if we can get this straightened out over the scorers table. So 15-12 indeed the score. So great to see everybody's on the same page, and certainly don't want to cheat either of these teams out of a point, but good that got it correct. 15-12 your score coming out of that timeout, and Tornadoes with the service. Caitlin Haggerty will handle the service duties, and Tornadoes really been playing sharp ever since the start of that second set. All evened up here in sets. Another win for the Tornadoes there. Point Tornadoes. As that attack goes out of bounds, and 16-12 Tornadoes up here in the third set. Presley with the dig, but that's going to bounce out of bounds. It'll be a point for the Bruins. Point Bruins. Here's Landcrone. Landcrone with the serve. Hawks it. And attack error there is going to be another point for the Bruins. Point Bruins. Serve here for Landcrone. Haggerty. Presley. Bauman. Somehow the Bruins were able to stay away from that attack, and it bounces out of bounds. Point Bruins. And the Bruins able to win another point, so they've cut the lead back to 1. 3 straight points for the Bruins. Haggerty with the dig. Here's Hoxit. Nicely dug up there by Hoops. Tornadoes trying to keep it alive somehow, and all sorts of hustle there from Caitlin Haggerty. But ultimately the point goes to the Bruins. We're all tied up at 16. Point Bruins. Landcrone's service continues. She's been outstanding today, the libero, and now getting it done with the serve. Caitlin Landcrone, the senior from Crown Point, Indiana. Wears number 8 in that gray libero jersey. Meanwhile, Tornadoes need to get a stop here and somehow get some momentum back on their side. Haggerty. Presley. Hawks it. Now an opportunity for Bob Jones, but unable to deliver. Point will go to the Tornadoes. Point Tornadoes. So service here for Bailey Lance as the Tornadoes able to stop that scoring run by the Bruins. And Bailey Lance will handle the service. Point Bruins. So another point there by Bob Jones. We're all tied up at 17. You get the feeling this might be the critical stretch here in this match. Tied up 1-1. Whoever wins this set will certainly be in the driver's seat. Here's Hoxit. Bruins trying to keep it alive somehow. They do. Lance sets up Presley to Mickey with the attack. Bruins coming back the other way into the finish there. The Bruins able to take the 18-17 lead. Point Bruins. Service here from Swihart. Bauman. Swihart. Hoops trying to catch the Tornadoes off guard. Presley sends it over. Has no choice but to do that, but does it well. Presley then with a dig off the net, and point will go to the Bruins. Point Bruins. Timeout on the court. Timeout Brevard. So a timeout on the court. 19-17, Bruins on top, set number 3.
Every cheer, for every play, we know there's a little prayer that no one gets hurt. That's why we are there too. Party athletic trainers, physicians, and specialists. We're watching closely for any sign that someone needs care. And if your child is hurt, they're seen right away by the region's top specialists. The Party Sports Medicine team is at every game, match, race, practice, and workout, providing medical attention and guidance. For us, winning is all about playing healthy and smart so you can perform at your best.
A critical juncture here in set number 3, all tied up 1 set apiece. Tornadoes trailing 19-17 here in the 3rd set. Swihart with the serve. And a service error, so the Tornadoes will earn the point back and have an opportunity here to build on that. Point, Tornadoes. Logan Pretty checks in. She'll handle the service. Senior, check that, junior out of Greensboro, North Carolina. And big finish there by Bob Jones. They hit the 20-point threshold first. Point Bruins. 20-18, crunch time here in set number 3. And a service ace for the Bruins. That's Timber Cruz. Point Bruins. We've seen the ace from her earlier in this match, and there she is delivering a big, big point, now up 21-18. Pretty sets up Presley. Dug by Swihart. In the finish there by Hoops. Point Bruins. Bruins won the first set, 25-17. Tornadoes won set number 2, 25-20. Now a 22-18 lead for Bob Jones. Pretty sets up Hoxett. Point Bruins. And now the Bruins 2 points away from a set 3 victory, 23-18. And another ace by Cruz. Point Bruins. Set point Bruins. And now a set point opportunity for Bob Jones. A lot of work ahead of the Tornadoes if they want to somehow pull it out here in this 3rd set. Down by 6. Lance, Pretty, sets up Presley. Big time block there from Hoxett. Point Tornadoes. And Hoxett will be rewarded with a service opportunity. Still a set point opportunity for Bob Jones, ahead 24-19. Quite a cushion they have there. Visitors from Greenville, South Carolina. Attack there from Parkins, dug up by the Bruins. And that'll be the set winner for the Bruins. Set number 3 goes to the Bruins, 25-19. Bruins lead 2-1. Set number 4 coming up next. So a 25-19 set number 3 win for the Bruins. And we'll head to the 4th set. A must-win situation for the Tornadoes in set number 4 as the Bruins take a 2-1 lead.
Every cheer, for every play, we know there's a little prayer that no one gets hurt. That's why we are there too. Party athletic trainers, physicians, and specialists. We're watching closely for any sign that someone needs care. And if your child is hurt, they're seen right away by the region's top specialists. The Party Sports Medicine team is at every game, match, race, practice, and workout, providing medical attention and guidance. For us, winning is all about playing healthy and smart so you can perform at your best.
Must-win situation here in set number 4. Bob Jones won the first set 25-17. Set number 2, Brevard really played excellent in set number 2, a 25-20 win. McKenna Parkins coming alive in that one. And then 25-19, down the stretch, Bob Jones pulled away in that third set. A 2-1 advantage in sets as we get things started here in set number 4. Final from women's soccer, Brevard 7, Warren Wilson 0. Women's soccer will be back in action on Saturday at noon versus Carolina University at Islamel Family Field, part of a jam-packed Saturday that includes a volleyball tri-match right here at the Bosch. Big hit there from Parkins, but the point will go to the Bruins. Point Bruins. There's some absolute shocked faces on the Brevard side. Everyone on the Brevard side of things thought that point was going to go their direction. And then an ace by the Bruins. Once again, Timber Cruz. Point Bruins. And an early 2-0 lead for Bob Jones. Tornadoes have to dig deep here and as a point there for the Bruins. Point Bruins. Now up 3-0. Service by Cruz once again. And another ace for Timber Cruz. She does it again. Point Bruins. Cruz now with, get this, 6 aces. That's a big number, folks. Point Bruins. Make it 7 aces for Timber Cruz. That's one of the bigger numbers you'll see in a college volleyball match with the serve. She has been sensational. Meanwhile, Tornadoes trailing 5-0 here in this fourth set. Parkins with a hit. Here come the Bruins. Hoops. Dug up there nicely by Bailey Lance. Big hit there from Hoxit. Hoops the other way. Lance with a diving attempt. Point will go to the Bruins. Point Bruins. 6-0 Bruins. So they reeled off 6 straight points to start this fourth set. Service here from Cruz, the hot hand, and another ace. That's number 8 for Timber Cruz. Point Bruins. Timeout on the court. Timeout Brevard. So timeout on the court. Brevard takes the timeout, trailing 7-0 here in set number 4. Back here at the Boschmer Gymnasium, a 7-0 lead for the Bruins here in this fourth set. Tornadoes trying to stop the bleeding with that timeout there. Make it 8-0 Bruins. Point Bruins. Cruz has just been sensational, who's been on this run. She has 8 aces for the match. Presley sets up Parkins. And that'll be the point for the Tornadoes off the hand of the Bruin defender.
Point Tornadoes.
8-1 your score. McKenna Parkins with the service. Parkins. Bruins trying to get something going. And they do.
Point Bruins.
Big finish there by Bob Jones. 9-1 your score. Set number 4. Presley sets up Rockstad. And finish there for Bob Jones. That was Victoria Glaze.
Point Bruins.
Parkins. And the Bruins are going to take care of business there. Another point for Bob Jones. An 11-1 lead to start this fourth set. Presley sets up Hoxit. That'll go long. Another point for the Bruins.
Point Bruins.
Make it 12-1 Bruins. As now Landcrone, who's been sensational, the libero for Bob Jones. 17 digs, many of a spectacular variety. And a big hit there from Faith Blaylock, her 4th kill.
Point Bruins.
Now a 13-1 advantage. Bruins in the driver's seat now here in set number 4, clearly. But Presley has other ideas. Nifty attack there.
Point Tornadoes.
Bailey Lance will check back in, the libero. I'm glad you're able to join us. This was a big night at Brevard College because it was the first ever sporting event officially played on the newly refurbished court here at the Boshemer Gymnasium. A whole new design, some beautiful artwork.
Point Bruins.
Kind of a retro look, fitting the history here at the Boshemer Gymnasium, and a lot of excitement for this volleyball team. Non-conference action here, all sorts of opportunities ahead for the Tornadoes as we head towards USA South Conference play eventually.
Point Bruins.
In fact, it'll start this weekend with the tri-match as Tornadoes will play at 10 a.m. versus Mary Baldwin and then 2 p.m. versus Methodist. Mary Baldwin will play Methodist at noon.
Point Tornadoes.
Logan Pretty checks in. 15-13 your score. The serve from Pretty. Block there. Both Hoxett and Tamicki going up high. Here's Pretty setting up Hoxett. Dug up there by Landcrone. Attack from Cruz. Here's Presley in the finish. Caitlin Presley.
Point Tornadoes.
So 15-4. Set number 4. And an ace for Logan Pretty.
Point Tornadoes.
That's Pretty's second ace of the contest. Now 15-5 your score. Pretty with the dig there, kept alive by Hoxett. Then a dig by Parkins. Hoxett not able to get that over. And it'll be a point for the Bruins.
Point Bruins. Point Bruins.
Another ace for the Bruins. This time from Hoops. First ace that's come from any Bruin other than Cruz.
Point Bruins.
Now 18-5, Bruins on top.
Timeout on the court.
And timeout on the court, 18-5 your score. Well, we mentioned the tri-match this weekend. Come on out here at 10 a.m., Boshemer Gymnasium. Breakfast with the Tornadoes as you can enjoy some volleyball with the Tornadoes taking on Mary Baldwin. First conference match of the season, so the stakes get that much higher. Then part of the tri-match, there'll be a neutral site event, Mary Baldwin and Methodist at noon roughly. And then following that, Tornadoes will take on Methodist roughly at 2 p.m. The same day at noon at Isla Mel Family Field, women's soccer will be taking on Carolina University. Then the day ends with a football game, Tornadoes versus Averett at 6 p.m. So you can come out here and see a grand total of 5 sporting events in one Saturday afternoon, all within maybe 100 yards of each other. So come on out. What a day at Brevard College. Tornadoes volleyball season then continues Tuesday, September the 19th, a conference match at Salem, and then Saturday the 23rd on the road in Raleigh, North Carolina versus Meredith. Next home match after this weekend's tri-match, Wednesday the 27th versus Pfeiffer. Bruins up 18-5. Point Bruins. Make it 19-5 as they inch closer to a match win here. 6 points away from winning this match. Point Bruins. Credit the ace there to Hoops. Now 20-5. Hoxett with the attack. Dug up by Parkins. Here's Hoxett again. Kept alive by Bailey Lance. Hit there by Presley. Pretty. Lance. Presley. Here come the Bruins the other direction. Very nicely done as Hoops set up Glaze, and Glaze with the finish, 21-5. Point Bruins. Service from Hoops. Parkins to Mickey. That lands wide. Point Bruins. (22-5), so 3 points away from a match victory. Bruins really pulling away here in the fourth set. Point Bruins. And another service here for Catherine Hoops. She's had a big match as well. Here's Hoxett. Credit the kill to Ashley Hoxett. Point Tornadoes. And Hoxett will be rewarded with a service opportunity after that finish. 23-6 your score. Credit the assist on that last one to Logan Pretty. Now a match point situation for Bob Jones. Set point, match point, Bob Jones. So set point and match point for the Bruins. And it'll be Victoria Glaze. And she'll get it done there with the finish, 25-6. Your final score, Bob Jones, 3 sets, Brevard 1. Hope you can join us this weekend for more Brevard College volleyball action. It'll be the USA South Conference tri-match, first conference matches of the season. It all starts at 10 a.m. here at the Boshemer Gymnasium when the Tornadoes will take on Mary Baldwin. That's followed by a neutral site match, Mary Baldwin and Methodist, and then the conclusion of the tri-match, Brevard versus Methodist at 2 p.m. Also women's soccer and football on Saturday. bctornadoes.com for all your score, stats, news, and information. Once again, your final score for the final time here at the Boshemer Gymnasium. Bob Jones 3, Brevard 1. Have a very pleasant rest of your evening. Go Tornadoes. So Bob Jones able to finish off the Tornadoes. That was a dominant fourth set, 25-6 in the fourth set. Bob Jones won the first set 25-17. Brevard responded with a 25-20 win in set number 2. Bob Jones then a 25-19 set 3 win that really put them in the driver's seat, and then they finished things off in the fourth set 25-6. Let's look at some individual statistics. First for Bob Jones, Victoria Glaze with 22 kills. Catherine Hoops had 11. Timber Cruz, 8 aces. And that was really that big run as well. A lot of aces to begin that fourth set. Meanwhile, they had 3 players really with big dig totals. Swihart with 18, Landcrone with 19, and then also Catherine Hoops with 18. And Brevard, meanwhile, McKenna Parkins led the way on the attack with 9 kills. Caitlin Presley had 7 kills, 5 kills for Hoxett, and 5 for Tamicki as well. Caitlin Presley led the way in distribution with 14 assists. Pretty had 11 assists. Bailey Lance had 5. Tornadoes as a team had 6 aces. Hoxett with 2. Presley with 2. Logan Pretty with 1. And also Bailey Lance with 1. In fact, my apologies, I missed one. Make it 7 aces. Kaylin Murphy with an ace as well. In the dig department, Bailey Lance with 22 to lead the Tornadoes. And there were a few blocks by Tornado defenders, including a couple by Hoxett, a couple from Presley. Rockstad with a block also, 2 blocks from Tamicki as well. But Tornadoes unable to get this non-conference win despite a real strong second set where they won 25-20. But the Bob Jones Bruins able to take this win 3-1. Well, we'll turn the page to this weekend's tri-match. It all begins at 10 a.m. right here at the Mosh. Check us out. We'll have the broadcast here if you're not able to make it in person. Brevard versus Mary Baldwin, 10 a.m. on Saturday. And then a second match at roughly 2 p.m. when Tornadoes take on Methodist. Neutral site action in between that. Congratulations to the Brevard College women's soccer team. A 7-0 win over Warren Wilson in Swannanoa, North Carolina. There'll be action for women's soccer on Saturday versus Carolina University. Football versus Averett, 6 o'clock Saturday. Men's soccer Sunday versus Washington Lee at 3:30 p.m. So a jam-packed weekend for Brevard College Tornado Athletics, and glad you're able to join us either in person or on YouTube. And do want to remind you, if you're watching this on YouTube, hit the subscribe button and hit that little bell. So that way you get all the notifications when the Tornadoes go live. Well, really appreciate you tuning in for this. It was a big evening of volleyball. The debut of the new turf here the new court here at the Boshemer Gymnasium, the new surface, and really exciting stuff as we're able to unveil the new surface, the new look of the Boshemer Gymnasium. And just a fantastic showing in terms of the fans as well. So really just appreciate everybody for checking us out here to get things started with this 2023 home schedule. Well, big thank yous all around. The Brevard College softball program helping behind the scenes, doing a lot of the operational work here. Big thanks to our producer. Great job, Justin Espino. Great job on the production this evening. Pietro Moratelli getting it done with Sports Information Director Joseph Marvin with the statistics. Great job by them as well. And thank you to our audience for tuning in for this edition of Brevard College Volleyball. Look forward to seeing you this weekend for another Brevard College Tornado athletic event. Your final score for the final time, Bob Jones 3, Brevard 1. Have a very pleasant rest of your evening. Go Tornadoes.